In this video, we are going to work on math module in TensorFlow. We are going to look at different methods available in math. Let's go and import TensorFlow HTF. We will also import NumPy. We are going to first work on sigmoid method. If a positive number is large, then its sigmoid will approach to 1. Let's work on positive number first. We will put some random numbers. And to compute sigmoid, we have to use the module math.sigmoid. As I have said earlier, if a positive number is large, then its sigmoid will approach to 1. Here the positive number is 0.0 and sigmoid is 0.5, which is 50%. Here positive number is 1 and the sigmoid increases to 0.73, which is 73%. In this case the number increases and sigmoid approach to 1. Even here the number is very large and the sigmoid approaches to 1. If a negative number is large, then its sigmoid will approach to 0. Now we are going to make we are going to put some negative numbers and see how the sigmoid values are doing. These are some of the negative numbers which we are putting in variable x. We can see that when the number is large and it is negative, its sigmoid is also large in negative, and when the number is approaching towards 0, from minus 100 to 0, the sigmoid value is also decreasing from minus 100 to 0. We will see accumulate_n method. This method returns the element-wise sum of a list of tensors. We are going to make a list of 2 tensors and then we will apply the accumulate_n method and check how it is working. This is going to be our first list of tensors. We will make one more. Now we are going to call accumulate_n method on our variable x and y. We will pass our variable in list. We have got result 7, 4, 6, 14. It is doing operation element wise. Here we have passed x, y, x. So first it is doing 1 plus 5, 6. That is x plus y, 1 plus 5, 6. Then again x. Then after adding 1 plus 5, it is going again here. 6 plus 1, 7. This is how 2 plus 0 is equal to 2. Then it is going back 2 plus 2, 4. We got 4. Here also 3 plus 0, 3. Then 3 plus 3, 6. Here 6, 4 plus 6, 10. 10 plus 4, 14. So it is doing element wise addition. First x plus y, then again x. There is another method add_n. This method adds all input tensor element wise. It is similar to accumulate_n method, but the difference is that it waits for all of its inputs to be ready Before beginning to sum, we are going to make two tensors a and b, and then we will apply our add underscore n method on those two tensors. This is our first tensor. Now we will call add underscore n method. We will pass our variable a, b and a. We have got the result 7, 16, 10, 25. It is giving us result in the same way as we have seen above in accumulate underscore n. We have here passed a, b, a. So a is here 3, 3 plus 1, 4. Then again a, 4 plus 3, 7. We got 7. 6 plus 5, 11. 11 plus 5, 16. 4 plus 2, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 9 plus 8, 17. 17 plus 8, 25. This is how the add underscore n method works. We will see divide method. This method works same as we work in Python. This is going to be our first tensor. Now we will divide this tensor with another one. We will call the method tf.divide and we will pass our variable. Here the result is 4. 4 4s are 16. Then 6 2s are 12. Then 2 5.5s are 11. This is how this divide method works. There is a method cos. Using this method we can find the cos of any value. Let's check that. We will just pass one number and find the cos. Cos of x. The cos of 10.0 is minus 0.8390715. Similarly, we can find sine, value of sine. What we will do is we will just copy this, paste here, and instead of cos we will say sine. This is how we can calculate the sine value. The sine value is minus 0.544021. Now there is a method cumsum. This method computes the cumulative sum of tensor x along its axis. I'll show you how it works. We'll make one tensor. On this tensor, we will call the method cumsum. Now how this is working is, the first one is 2, then 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 6, 12, 12 plus 8, 20. It is giving us the cumulative total of each element. We can also do cumulative sum column wise. In that case, we just have to pass the parameter x is equal to 0. Now when we are calling the method CubeSum here, we have to specify the axis also. Your axis is 0. This is the result 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 7, 11, 15. In the first row it is printing as it is, and now in the second row we will see that 2 plus 1 3, 4 plus 3 7, 6 plus 5 11, 8 plus 7 15. This is how we got the result in the second row. There is also a method equal. This method returns the true value of x is equal to y, that is when we are comparing two values it will give us result in boolean whether true or false, and it will perform the operation element wise. Let's have a look at that. This is our first variable. We will make one more variable to compare. Now we are comparing x with y. We will use the method equal. We can see here 2 and 2 both are equal. We got result as true. And 4 and 2 they are not equal, so we got the result as false. There is also a method isNaN to check if there are any NaN values present in a tensor. Let's make one tensor. We will use the method isNaN and pass our variable x. We see the result. The first one is false because we have a number here. The second one is true because this is a NaN. We don't have any number here. Third one is false because it's not a NaN. And the fourth one is true because it is a NaN. This is how we can check whether there are any NaN values present in a tensor. There is a method log, and log method will compute natural logarithm. We will make one tensor. 0, 0.5, 1, 5. We will use the method log and pass our variable x. Here we got the log values. This one is minus infinite, minus 0.693, for 0.5, for 1 we have got 0, for 5 we got 1.60, 9438. This is how we can compute log in TensorFlow. There's a method maximum, and this method returns the maximum value present when we are comparing two tensors. So first we have to make a list of two tensors and then we have to compare against each other. Let's make two tensors first. Now we will call our maximum function here, tf.math.maximum. Here I forgot to give comma. We can see in the output when we are comparing x with y, 0 with minus 2.0, then 0 is the maximum because minus 2 is in negative. Then from 0 0 we got 0, both are equal, so we got 0. Then when we are comparing 0 with 2.0 we got 2, 0 with 5 we got 5. This is how we get the maximum value when we are comparing two tensors. We can also get the minimum value. We will use the same x and y tensor, and instead of calling maximum we will call the minimum function. Now here we will see between 0 and minus 2.0 the minimum value is -2, here 0, here 0, and here also minimum value is 0 between 0 and 5. This is how you can calculate maximum and minimum value. There's a method power, and this method computes the power of one variable to another. Let's see that. This is our first variable. This is our second variable. Now we are going to call the function power. Now this is the base 2 and this is the power 10, 2 to the power 10, and the value is 1024. Similarly here 3 is the base and the power is 2, so 3 into 3, 2 times 9. This is how we got 9 here. Here 3 raised to 3, 3 into 3 into 3, 27. You can calculate power. This is working similar as we see in Python. These are some of the functions which I have shown in this video. Well, there are lot more functions are available and you can learn a lot. These are some of the functions which are available in the math module. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any doubts or any queries, you can always comment in the video. I will reply to your comments. Thank you for watching.